All right, so I just completed my first 30 days of selling Pokemon cards, and I'm not gonna lie, it did not go as I was expecting. I made a little money, got hit with several scams, and apparently I'm a scalper now. So we have a lot to discuss today. All right, so let's start with the numbers. I know that's what a lot of people want to know, especially starting a business. So we did just shy of $3,000 in sales. It mainly came from TCG Player. I was blown away by this. Now, we did pay $421 in fees. If you're thinking about starting on TCG Player, keep the fees in mind when you're pricing your items. We had $2,227 in expenses. Now, not all of that was equated to buying inventory. Some of that was setting up the business, doing the paperwork, getting the LLC. I think registering the business cost right at $500. So these numbers are going to be a little off. But all in all, we did about $316 in profit on the first month, which I was expecting to lose money, so I'm excited by that. My wife, not so much, because I think that equated to right around $3.76 an hour. So it's up to you to determine if it's worth it. For me, I really enjoyed it this past month. I've got to learn a tremendous amount, both about the business side of things, people in the hobby, and the shipping side, which I could create a whole video on the shipping. That was fun to say the least. Now let's get into one of the more interesting things, the scams. So if you haven't watched any of my videos, if you sell on TCG Player, be careful and be aware of an address that has Arrow Post Way out of Miami, Florida. That is a shipping facility that specializes in shipping all over the world, which is a wonderful thing. But here's where the issue comes in. A customer can go through them, but on TCG Player, the customer will label the shipping facility as their address. So, and it can be 1 through 852. And here's the thing, if you don't have tracking, you're not only responsible for shipping to them in a timely manner, but them shipping to the customer in a timely manner. So if a customer does request a refund because their order never arrived, there's nothing you can do. So TCG Player does have pretty strong policies on third-party shipping. So if you do see that address and you do want to ship to the customer, just be aware that you may want to put tracking on it. So factor that into the cost. Now the second one, this one, I should have seen this a mile away. It was clear, hindsight's 2020, so it was clear when I'm looking back on it. But I had this option. Someone reached out to me on Instagram, takes me to an eBay account. The eBay account had, I want to say, several hundred reviews. So I'm like, okay, it's a legit place. And they were going to give me a great deal. They were going to sell me a case of product at wholesale price. They wanted to help the new business out. And I thought that was cool. I was like, man, I wasn't expecting anybody to do that. Well, most people don't do that. And that's what I come to find out, because you do have to pay up front. It was a pre-order system and the product hadn't been released yet. So the pre-order actually made sense. And so I paid up front. And it's funny because the day that the shipment was supposed to come out was the day that account got completely disabled. Their Instagram got disabled. So I had no way to contact these people either. To say, hey, where's my money at? And anyways, lucky enough, eBay did refund my entire money. It did take them about a week to get the funds back, which for new businesses, be very careful, because for, 3 weeks out of this month, I lost the capital that I needed to buy collections, that I need to buy more product, that I could have bought a little more Japanese. So just be mindful. If a deal sounds too good to be true, there's a good chance that it probably is. I also learned very quickly that if you sell Pokemon cards on the internet, congratulations, you are now a scalper. On content, man, this was a rocky roller coaster to say the least. So we'll start with YouTube. And so this month we gained 14 subscribers, which is exciting. It's like, wow, I really didn't think anybody wanted to hear me talk. And then I have filmed to date 31 videos. YouTube was a challenge. I can't tell you how many times throughout this I thought about just giving up, to be honest with you. Because you'll post a video, you may see 1 or 2 likes, 1 or 2 views, and then it's like, why am I tying up this time? Because the time it took me to record it, and which I am planning on giving a bloopers video, and I may title it bloopers for month 1, which it will not be kid appropriate. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Now on Instagram, we did see significant growth. Right now we're at 286 followers. I've got to meet a lot of cool people in the hobby, having great conversations, because that was one of the biggest things about this. It wasn't just about starting a business and selling things. It was about sharing the hobby and enjoying it and getting to experience it with other people and enjoy it with them. So I've met a lot of cool people on Instagram. You know who you are. I'm not going to shout you out just in case you don't want to be, but thank you so much for all the advice and everything you've gave me through this month. Now, as far as the business direction and where we're going with that, I'm going to continue to focus on singles. There is a good market for it. A lot of people like it, and it's a lot easier than trying to find product right now to open up to find the singles. It's a lot more cost effective to just buy singles, so I want to provide as many singles as I can. I'm going to do a little bit smarter on my buying this go around, because I did learn, especially Japanese products, the margins are very low and the price can change from the time you order it to the time it gets delivered. You may already be priced too high. And that's where the TCG player fees came into play, is not calculating that 100% into the formula. We did break about even selling Japanese booster boxes, and which is fine, but once you throw shipping into it, I want to say we lost close to $75 on selling Japanese booster boxes. So I'm going to figure that out, dive a little bit more into it. So if you're thinking about selling Japanese, keep all this in mind. But we're still figuring it out. And that's kind of the point of being new. And that's the exciting part, because at the end of the day, this was only month 1. We learned a lot, took quite a few hits on the chin, but here we are. I'm still here and we're still excited to keep going. So if you want to follow this journey, as we figure this out in real time, please consider sticking around. But until next time, goodbye.